44-day streak, everybody. Big Mo asked, how do you make it in LA as an entertainer? Which I'm not entirely sure of. And then moving to LA to California, like advice on doing something like that. So I decided to put them together because it made the most sense to me. So I'm going to tell my story a little bit, then I'm going to give some advice, and then I'm going to give you the only bullet points that I think are appropriate for me to give on how to make it. Because it's mostly learning from mistakes. But that's okay. For my move, I knew I wanted to move away in early to mid 2013. So let's ballpark it as April, May of 2013. I was like, I gotta move. I gotta get the F out of here. And so what I did was I got a job at a nursing home. And for an entire year, I worked at one whole year. And I worked anywhere between 40 and 55 hours almost. I think I did a 60-hour week once. Because I wanted to. I said that, I told them, I want to save up, I want to do that kind of stuff. So I ended up working multiple jobs there. I worked as a housekeeper. That was kind of my main gig. So yeah, so from 7:30 to 8:30 every day, I was a housekeeper. And then I also worked in the kitchen as a dishwasher and a food prep and diet aid. It was a wild time, man. So I worked those jobs for an entire year, just grinding away. Basically, just like the only thing that really got me through that was the thought that a year from now, I won't be doing this. Anyway, so I saved up the money and then fast forward a year to 2014, and I moved away in June of 2014, and the trip went from the 16th to the 22nd. And in that time, my mom came with me. She wanted to join me on the road trip. Thought it would be a good bonding experience, and it definitely was. We only got mad at each other once. Tried In-N-Out for the first time and was incredibly disappointed. The burgers are okay, the fries are garbage. So when I got to LA, I ended up living at a place called the Safari Inn in Burbank for about 2 weeks. Actually, it was basically 2 weeks on the dot before I found a place. And it was kind of a wild time because the Safari Inn is perpetually in the 50s. Anyway, so then my first place that I lived was actually what I used to refer to as the doghouse. I'm genuinely not going to talk about this place too much because I'm low-key afraid for my life. So I lived there for about a year before David Franklin and I came together and got this apartment, apartment 27, and I've been here ever since. And I want to get out. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. My advice to people, this is the advice section, save money. Do whatever you can to save money. Work. If you have the end goal to move to LA, just let that be your guiding light like it was for me. I literally would go home and just play GTA 5 because it kind of looked like LA. I mean, it does. I'd get drunk off my ass by myself in my room playing GTA, being like, one day, baby. It is expensive here, though, and it's not worth the price. To be honest, it's really not. Save as much money as you possibly can. Make sure that you take advantage. I said take advantage of generous friends and family. So if your parents are like, hey, you can live with us, just pay us $100 a month or something for rent and do some chores and you can live here. Take advantage of that if you can. If you have friends that are totally cool with you crashing on their couch, do that. Save money. Give them, supplement their rent a little bit. It's only fair. You got to pay your way. But it's definitely something that you got to do is just take advantage. And tell them that you're taking advantage of them. You got to be upfront about that. So it's not really so much taking advantage as much as it's asking for help. What else did I have here? Check your car for problems. If you're going to move out here, you need a car, so you bring your car. That's the rule. On our way out to LA, my car's cooling system ended up busting, and we were only in West Virginia. We were driving in June. For fun facts, for fun, the South is hot in June. Also, a lot of billboards about Jesus and going to hell. Holy shit, Tennessee. Are you okay? Blink twice. When you're packing, throw it out. I have a box and a half of stuff in multiple closets in this apartment that I just don't touch. It's really not good for anything. I saw a bunch of trophies that I won in high school and I was like, I don't give a fuck about these. Also, this one's a personal one. Trying to maintain the friends that gave a shit. I did a mediocre job at it. Some friendships definitely fell off. How to make it section of the show. Again, I haven't gotten to what my form of making it is. But that actually leads me to kind of my first point, was define your expectations. This is the best advice I ever got from actually John Mayer, believe it or not. He didn't tell me this directly. I've never met the man and I never want to. I'm scared of him. But define your expectations. What is making it to you? The phrase making it is so broad that the idea that you're going to make it is like, what the fuck does that mean to you? Do you want to be like, you know, a mega star walking the red carpets and stuff? Well, okay, then you have to play by those rules. If you want to be a listenable musician who has a modest fan base, then you need to follow those rules. If you want to be an online entertainer and Twitch streamer and online content creator, you got to follow those rules, and they're all different. Two of those things is what I want to do. I want to be a musician with a modest fan base, and I want to be a content creator for the internet. And that doesn't always mean being in front of the camera. I like producing. I like podcast producing. I like producing other people's shows. I like editing videos. So I want to do that stuff too. And so like I play by those two rules, which is difficult to kind of double major, but you have to be able to put in the time. I'm still learning a lot of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff to learn. And so that's kind of another thing is ramp up what you like to do. Even if sometimes it feels like work, like I like working on music, but some of those commissions that I've done for people in streams, sometimes it gets to a point where I'm tired. And I'm like, I don't really want to work on this song today, but I have to because it's helping me pay the bills. So like, that's part of the game, is fighting through the times you don't want to do the thing. Make friends. Here's the biggest piece of advice next to define your expectations. Make friends. Get involved. Do things. Work. Do not work alone. So be willing to make certain sacrifices. Like for me, it was trips and going to visit places. It was going out to bars and clubs. It's not a thing I did anymore. I didn't go out of town. I wouldn't go down to San Diego. I wouldn't go to Disneyland. I wouldn't go to Universal unless like my parents paid for it basically, or somebody else did. I wouldn't go to these places because I had to work. And it was miserable, and it made me miserable. And I didn't realize how miserable I was. Now I go to therapy. But anyway, guys, that's kind of as much as I can say on making it in Los Angeles. Again, get involved, define your expectations, and practice, I guess, you know? And do the thing that scares you, I guess, is the last piece. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this one wasn't a bust. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than my first one. I want to keep these under 10 minutes. That's my goal. But hope you all enjoyed. See you next time. More suggestions, guys. If you have more suggestions what we want to talk about. I'll also go out and do things too. This isn't just going to be a talking head show. I don't want it to be just a talking head show. That's boring. It's more fun when you guys get to see stuff. So, like, let me know if you want to see me do some other stuff. Even if it's just like, hey, where's the grocery store you shop at? I'm going to stalk you. Anyway, bye, guys.
I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. The police and the government touch my cock.
What are you doing, honey? What are you doing, honey? What are you doing? You digging in paper? You bringing your trash bag?